Don't forget to click the subscribe button, comment down below, like this video, and click the bell icon to be notified. Good morning. This light's wrong. Is that better? I don't know. So we're back from Junk Junction. Took a couple days off to recover physically. Actually, Sunday night when I got home, I slept for 4 hours. I just went to sleep for 4 hours. And it felt good to get some rest. Now Junk Bonanza is only a couple weeks away. And I lost money on this show, on this Junk Junction. So I am trying to think desperately of how to cut expenses for Junk Bonanza. So I may not get a hotel room. I may drive every day. Like, for real, the show put me in debt because I ended up having to pay for gas and food and all the stuff that, you know, I didn't recover. And it's just, you guys, it's so hard to admit that, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so hard to go, it just was a complete and utter failure. And now it's like my bank account is screaming because there's just nothing. There's just no, I lost money. It was a $300 hotel bill, $65 in gas, you know, food for both Victoria and I for 3 days, every meal. You know, it was brutal. It's brutal. And then to not make any of it back. I mean, I didn't make the $200 rent back. I lost money when I booked it. So it's going to be a struggle for the next few weeks. If the same thing happens for Junk Bonanza, I will get a job. I will have to get a job to earn some money because there are bills to pay and no money. Saying that makes me want to cry. At the same time, it makes me feel relieved to have said it because it's like, that's the reality of this situation. Is the last few months have been so bad. Like, Pickett was bad because of the ice storms and all the other stuff. And then this show being so utterly miserable. And for some reason, Etsy is just dead again. So when I don't post every day, Etsy's going to be dead. So I need to get some listings going again. It's really tough right now. It's really tough right now for everyone. Let's face it. That's the way the world is right now. It's really, really tough. And sometimes running a business really sucks. And there are, you know, drips and drabs coming in from here and there. And oh my God, you know, it's like, well, that's what it is. I work Vintage Junkie on Thursday. I work Vintage Junkie on Thursday. I have to get a couple pieces together when I go pick up Victoria this afternoon. I will stop there to drop off some items for the sale this week. You guys, I'm really stressed out, and I know that's not like the video that you come here to watch, but I, for real, just have no idea what I'm going to do. I feel like I'm in free fall and chaos, and I have to figure it out. When you own your own business, you're the one that has to figure this stuff out, you know, and my brain is exhausted because it's searching. It's like the, in the computer, the processor, the little wheel that goes around when you're looking for something. That's what my brain is doing 24/7 right now. It's searching for a way to just fix this. And I can't fix this. I can't fix losing almost $600 in expenses over the weekend. And now I have a fear if I book a hotel room for Junk Bonanza that it's going to fall apart. And I mean, the negative thoughts that are in my brain right now. So I'm typically a pretty positive person. I like to try and stay on the positive side of things. But something like this just kicks you in the gut, and it's like the little negativity rat just keeps rolling on that treadmill. It's like, it's all going to be bad. It's all going to fall apart. And, Junk Bonanza is expensive enough as it is. The rent is paid for. I paid for it months ago, but if I stay down there, there's eating, going out with the girls and drinking, and, and I'm not a big drinker, but, you ended up, I think my meal each time was like $28 with tip it's not cheap down there. And they go to sit down restaurants, and, you're like, okay, well, then you got to factor in another $100 for meals. And then if I have a helper, I got to feed them. And, it's just expensive doing these shows. These shows are inherently expensive. And now I'm like feeling like I should pull back on doing any shows after that misery. I mean, at least when I did Minneapolis Vintage Market and it was right before Christmas and it was a tough show, I made rent. And expenses that day, and a little profit. It wasn't a great profit, but it was profit, and this one, there's no profit. It was all loss. I didn't even make rent. So, I mean, it's literally every expense that I had was not covered, was out of my own pocket. And I just didn't have $600 to blow. I put the $600 in under the expectation that there would be people there to shop. And yes, I paid that rent months ago, so I didn't pay that this month. So only like $400 of it actually came out of my pocket, but it's $400. It's painful. It's painful, guys. So anyway, I got a lot to do for Junk Bonanza. These need to get legs put on them. Need to do the chair and the footstool. But today I got to get stuff together to go to Vintage Junkie so that I can focus on Junk Bonanza the rest of the week. I'm feeling sick to my stomach, and it's probably stress. It's not probably stress. It's stress. I'm just sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach. And here's the thing. So what happens when something like this happens is the crazy person in my brain starts going, it's your fault. You didn't do enough. You should have done, could have done, should have, would have, could have, all the little negative, if you had just done this. And it's absolutely not true. Like, the other part of my brain goes, there wasn't anybody there on Friday. Like we were going to have rolling pin races down the aisle. I mean, I'm like, there's no one here. Victoria and I were going to do cartwheels down the main aisle because there was just nothing. There wasn't a soul there. I can't sell to people who aren't physically there, right? So nothing that I could have done would have changed the outcome of this show. If there are no butts in the door, you cannot make a sale. There wasn't anything that I could have brought that would have been different to sell, or things that I was holding aside for Junk Bonanza. No, there were no people. There was no one to sell to. So I have to check myself, because the voice in my head is saying, this is your fault. And it's not my fault. There was literally nothing I could have done to have changed the outcome of this. But it doesn't stop that voice in my head from being obnoxious. And it's just been the last couple days of trying to breathe. That's what I've been doing, is trying to breathe. Because it feels like you're just underwater. There. That's it. That's what's going on here, and why I took a couple days off. So I had filmed those thrift hauls in advance, wanting to physically recover. But the truth is, if I hadn't, there would have been no videos, because in the last couple days, I could not function. I can barely function today. I'm kind of forcing myself to function because I don't have a choice. So I'm getting up and I'm moving and I'm doing these things because I had to take Victoria to school today. And I have to work at Vintage Junkie on Thursday. And, it's like, that's it. That's where I'm at. And the stress is just real, guys. It's real. My stress level is here. I'm underwater financially and emotionally, and I have no way out. That's my feeling, is like, I feel like I have no way out. I've got to figure it out, and I can't. There's no point in getting a job today, because believe me, the voice in my head was like, just go get a job. Because I would have to go, okay, but I need a bunch of time off because I got to work Vintage Junkie. I got to work, I got to be gone for, Junk Bonanza. And it's just so, but if Junk Bonanza doesn't go well, I got to get a job. at least part-time, to help make ends meet, because I can't put this on my family. I mean, I just can't. These are the hard choices. I mean, you got to make hard choices. When you're running a business and then things were going great, and suddenly you hit this like 3-month bad spot. And in saying that, like, I know summer's better at Pickett, you know, starting in April, which that's what we're going into. It's going to be 60 degrees this week. We're going to be better. People show up. People start coming up for their lake places when they can go to the cabin, and, you know, we get that extra traffic. And intellectually, I know things are going to pick up. But at the same time, there's absolutely no guarantee. This show just killed me. The last month of not making rent at Pickett, and this show being so bad just freaking killed me. And Pickett was good last month, so I picked up my check, and the only saving grace is that compensated for the $400 that, you know, I mean, it's like, but it doesn't bring me back up. It brought me to zero. It's like I still have all the bills coming out. I gotta make choices. They're uncomfortable. They need to be made, and I have to make them. So I'm sorry this video is a super bad bummer, because I have nothing else to give you guys today. But I always said that, you know, I'm going to share the reality of what it is, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So this is the ugly. And the rest of the day, I'm just going to grab a few pieces to take to Vintage Junkie, get those in and priced, and then hopefully tomorrow we can work on this stuff, because that's what I have to do. I just have to keep moving and hope for the best. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Visit my blog, peonylanedesigns.com, for more tips, tricks, and inspiration. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos. I post every week DIY tutorials and, of course, more junkin' videos.